When people tell me how long they've been unemployed for, because I've been unemployed for 4.5 months and I feel like I'm on the verge of a psychotic break at this point.
Being unemployed and applying to jobs is an actual humiliation ritual.
Have you thought of just connecting with Steve Jobs on the Facebook and then shooting him an email with all of your strengths and your weaknesses too?
He's been dead for 20 years, Mom.
All right, so the job market has been cooked for a while now. I think we all know this. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better in 2026. My entire social media feed is people talking about how ridiculous the job market is, how tedious the application process is, all the ghosting that goes on, the amount of applications that they have to put in to hear no responses back, and everything in between. So I wanted to take a look at some of those videos and see what's really going on. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Being unemployed and applying to jobs is an actual humiliation ritual. We need to talk about it out loud at this point because it wasn't always like this. So back in 2018, I used to be able to apply to like 6 jobs in one day, and I would hear back from all 6 of them by the next day, within 24 hours. Even if I didn't get any of the jobs, I would hear back.
I'm Unc at this point, so I was a junior in 2016. And that's when I was applying around for like my first actual job. This is when LinkedIn was like in its golden era. You could apply to 10, 15 jobs on LinkedIn. There was a good chance you were hearing back from like 7 to 8 of those jobs. At least hear back from them. You might not get the job, but you would at least hear back. LinkedIn's actually how I got my first job. I used to work at a sneaker store at the mall. It was so easy to get a job back in 2016. It was like effortless. You put in an application and you would hear back literally within 24 to 48 hours about an interview. You'd attend an interview and it was simple. It was streamlined.
Like, let's think about this here. I go online, I have an Indeed, I have everything pre-set up, I have all my information pre-put into Indeed. So I have to go type in whatever job I'm looking for. 90% of the job listings are scams. They're not real. Like, they're fake. I don't understand how this is even legal, and I don't understand how Indeed doesn't do anything about it. They're not real jobs. They're fake jobs that are taking up space.
This is what makes applying for a job so tedious and soul-sucking, because you're not sure which jobs are real. You apply to all these things that are potentially scams that are just looking to fish your information. They're literally just looking to get personal information so that they can probably sell you something, or it's a pyramid scheme. You have to weed all of that out in addition to looking for a job, and looking for a job is already a job itself at this point. So it's tiring having to like apply to all these things, go through these lengthy applications. Half of them turn out to be scams and not even real jobs. It's really defeating.
You have like 60% fake jobs, and then the other 40% are like criminally underpaid. Criminally. Like, if you don't have a degree, a lot of these jobs are starting off at like, I'm not even kidding, $11 to $12. And then you look even further and like 50% of those jobs are part-time jobs, or they're commission-based. So finally, after like 40 minutes of looking, you'll find a job, you'll go to apply, oh, it has another website, it redirects you to their website. So now you have to go re-put all of your information in. You still get to attach your resume at the end, but you have to re-type everything back in, which, like, it's first world problems, I guess.
Okay, maybe it is a first world problem. That doesn't mean it's not a problem. Why is the process like this? Why do I have to fill my information in twice? You have it on the application tracking system, which is Indeed, and then you also have a separate website for the application. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's a technique or a tactic to weed out the people that really aren't that interested, because if you're super interested, you'll fill it out twice. But at the end of the day, it's still playing with people's time. It's still playing with people's patience. Like, what are we doing here? Do you need the position filled? What's going on here?
It is annoying. So you put all the damn information in, and then you are lucky, like I said, you are lucky if you hear back from them ever again. And it is exhausting for your soul. It is exhausting. I'm literally going online and I'm distributing myself online for free labor. Well, not free, paid, but like for manual labor. And I'm like begging someone, a company that probably doesn't even give a crap about me. I'm like, please, please take me. Like, this is pathetic and humiliating. And I'm over it. I'm so over it.
Submitting an application is kind of just like throwing a pebble into space. You're genuinely just putting it out into a void. And if that void happens to spit something back out, you're lucky. But don't count on it. Taking a look at some of the comments. I went to a job fair. They told me to apply online. Retyping all your previous employment history 3 times is so annoying. When you were doing a paper application, it was 1 time. Now it's 3 times. And they have it digitally. 4 months, 745 applications, 0 rejections, 0 contacts. You don't even get the decency of a rejection anymore, because at least then you know definitively, all right, that one didn't work out. Now it's just like nothing, white noise. What this comment says: we've decided to move forward with a different candidate. Then the listing goes back up not even a week later. I applied for a job in October last year that a friend recommended me, her real job, and they didn't contact me about it until August of this year. That is almost an entire year that person did not get a response. Unserious. This person says, I found I can identify the fake jobs because they're the ones that post with livable salaries. Another one, I applied to 170 jobs and got ghosted 85% of the time. Insane. Indeed is a data farm. They sell our data. They definitely do. This person said, they're firing recruiters. There are no jobs. I actually used to be a recruiter. That was my last job, and that was the job that actually made me take a chance on myself in entrepreneurship. I hated that job. It was the worst job I have ever had in my life. I got fired as a recruiter because I wasn't hiring enough people. I wasn't hiring enough people because we didn't have enough jobs. Legitimately, that's what happened. They fired me for performance. But how am I supposed to fill a job that doesn't exist?
Wow, I am so grateful for my marketing degree that I spent $200,000 on, because no, I couldn't get a marketing job, but you know what I could do? Become a substitute teacher.
$200,000 for a marketing degree. Now, obviously, this must have been like some type of private university because $200,000 is on the high side, but still, $200,000 on a marketing degree, and she has to teach because there is nobody hiring in that field. Could you imagine dedicating 4, 6, 8 years of your life in school to get a degree that you thought was going to set you up for the rest of your life, and then you graduate and nothing? Because being in debt for $200K is one thing if you're able to find a job that's able to pay that off within 5 to 10 year time span. If less, great. But being $200,000 in debt with no prospects of an opportunity to pay that off is scary.
Sometimes I wonder if the reason I'm not getting a job is because deep down, I don't even want one. The longer I've been unemployed, the more I realize how much I hate corporate America. After getting laid off 3 times, you realize you're really just another number. Plus, I hate sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours. I hate the performative small talk, the hope you're doing well emails. I hate pretending to care about meetings that could have been emails. Maybe it's not even about being unhireable. Maybe my body just knows I'm going to end up in another job that drains my soul.
This is exactly what it feels like to work corporate. And this is kind of what it feels like to work a job that you absolutely don't care about. At the end of the day, most people are doing a job so that they can pay their bills, not because they're passionate about it. And the extra annoyance of having to deal with these little things that chip away at your soul daily, like being fake pleasant in an email when you know that that person pisses you off more than most people in your life, having to attend some kind of virtual meeting that literally could have been an email, and then just being laid off repeatedly, you start to feel like you're the problem and not the structure of the way that the company operates. It really is discouraging, and it makes people unenthusiastic when it comes to applying for new jobs or starting new jobs. Taking a look at the comment section, the first comment, I don't even want a career anymore. I have no ambitions or aspirations. Second comment, we don't hate work. We hate exploitative, fake, objectifying work environments. This is me right now. It's all so performative. Corporate America is making me mentally and physically ill. It's not even funny. I was unemployed almost 6 months this year. When I got a job, I was relieved because unemployment was almost out. But now I've been employed for over a month and I don't want to do this. I really enjoyed my unemployment this time around, which feels odd to say.
I think we're going through the great millennial career crisis. I saw another creator say this and I was like, yeah, I think that is 100% because of the fact that we were all sold a version of success that literally doesn't exist anymore. We're told, go to school, pick a responsible career, work hard, you're going to get a good job. If you climb the ladder, you'll definitely be rewarded. Buy a house, get married, have the kids, and then you're going to feel fulfilled. And I recently started sharing on here and with some of my friends that I'm attempting to career pivot at 35 and start completely over. And so many people were like, yeah, I'm so burned out, or I'm bored, I'm unfulfilled, I'm questioning my entire identity right now. And I don't think it has anything to do with this idea of laziness, or we're a less hardworking or less grateful generation than our parents. We entered the workforce during recessions, during all of the student loan craziness, during rising costs of literally everything. And now technology is taking out like entire job markets. So I think so many of us are realizing that our parents' dream isn't ours. It's not even real anymore. I think a lot of us value freedom, flexibility, meaning. So I think it makes sense that so many of us are seeking to pivot careers and to start over and to figure out what success even means for us. So I guess I just wanted to post this because if you're having those thoughts, like this can't be it. Also, I certainly don't have all the answers, but I will be sharing here my own attempt to pivot at 35, the lessons I'm learning being career confused, and maybe just by talking about this more, we'll all feel a little less alone and a little less crazy. I think we're
So I grew up in an apartment. I grew up very poor. I always dreamed of like one day being able to afford a really nice house to just have a permanent place to live that I can call my own. I don't dream of having a house anymore, especially after finding out how much of a scam property taxes are, the amount of maintenance that goes into a lot of these houses, the sheer cost of a mortgage. And it's really turned me off to that idea of the American dream with the white picket fence, the really nice house. I don't dream of that anymore. What I dream of now is financial freedom, is flexibility to do the things that I enjoy, is not sacrificing all my time and all the energy that I have in a day to something that does not serve me in the long run. And I think a lot of people are starting to share that sentiment. Taking a look at the comments, I'm making the most money I ever have and I'm so broke. This person says, I climbed a mountain and turned around. I got to 6 figures and thought I broke the cycle of poverty. Surprise! We were sold a dream that doesn't exist anymore. Heavy on the burned out, unfulfilled, and uninspired. My job/company completely sucked the soul out of me. Wanted to be a corp baddie, burned out hard, and was not happy. Took a shot at my dream as a librarian, and now I have a smile every day. I don't make much, but I'm happy. A lot of people have acknowledged that working a job that they hate still isn't paying them enough money. So they might as well work a job that they love that isn't paying them enough money, because at least then they're happy. At least then they're rich in life. Monetary value is important in life. We all need money to survive, but it's not everything in life.
What are good careers for someone who has no passion and just wants to make money? Welcome to adulthood. Nobody has passion. We're all just pretending to care until direct deposits hit. All right, people are like, follow your dreams. What dreams? I dream of not paying rent. That's it. I know the job description sounds the same anyway. I must thrive in fast-paced environments. Translation, we're understaffed and everyone's quitting. Okay, be a team player. Translation, you're doing Cindy's work too because she goes on fake doctor's appointments. Right, competitive pay. Competitive with who? Minimum wage? My patience, my will to live? So yeah, which careers are for people with no passion? All of them. Every single one. Just pick something with benefits so you can afford therapy later. All right. So yeah, if your dream is just making money, you're already ahead of the people pretending their passion is, helping optimize workflows. Okay. Pick something that pays decently, requires minimal emotional involvement, and lets you sit down a lot. Okay. That's the American dream.
I dream of being able to frolic in a field and not have to worry about healthcare. I dream of, if I have a cough, being able to go to the doctor and not sweating how much it's going to cost me. I don't know what we're here for, but I can assure you that it's not to maximize profits. Taking a look at the comments, I'm passionate about getting home and back in bed. Here for the income, not the outcome. Dream job, I do not dream of labor. I am passionate about being left alone.
When people tell me how long they've been unemployed for, because I've been unemployed for 4.5 months and I feel like I'm on the verge of a psychotic break at this point. Thank you.
6 months, 0 interviews, hundreds of applications. Another comment, 2.5 years. Wow. I've been unemployed since May of 2025, so close to having a Britney Spears moment. My son is going on 8 months with a master's and 2 undergrads. It totally sucks. Could you imagine having 3 degrees and being unemployed for 8 months? I would lose my mind. I would give up. I honestly wouldn't even keep looking. I would stay in my mom's basement forever. I'll try again in the next life, I guess. 9 months and 9 interviews. I was previously employed at the same place for 26 years. I had no idea the job market was going to be this brutal. That is really brutal. I was unemployed for over a year. I just started Googling jobs and applying/sending my resume directly. Don't apply through places like Indeed and LinkedIn. Always go directly to the company. Good luck. And if there is a company website, you might as well apply through there, because guess what? If you apply on LinkedIn or through Indeed, there's a chance that it reroutes you to the website and you gotta apply there anyway.
No. I'm running out of money. I got like no cash. What? Help me.
Taking a look at the comments of this video, I'm on month 10. Savings gone, cards maxed out, unemployment payments maxed out. Yikes. That must feel terrifying. Literally got rejected for mall retail jobs. It's tough out here. Even having a degree in healthcare don't guarantee anything. The amount of school and stress that comes with that school to get in the healthcare industry, honestly, in my opinion, not worth it. I understand that we need healthcare professionals, and I'm not discouraging people from entering. I'm just saying I could never.
So something that I'm realizing, people who aren't currently in this job market are not understanding. That I want to spell out very plainly for you. When we say there are no jobs, we're talking about jobs in general, legitimately, any kind of job. there are more job seekers than jobs. And that is not just white collar jobs. That is not just mid-management jobs. That is not just leadership level jobs. Those are jobs. When you hear someone say, I've applied to 500 jobs this year and not heard back from any of them, do you honestly think that's only 500 jobs only in their niche at their level? I've applied to 600 jobs. There is no way in hell that there have been 600 jobs that are like director level or above for employer brand and talent marketing. No, I have been applying all over the place to anything that even remotely aligns with my experience.
After like 50 jobs, you're desperate. After 50 applications, you're just taking you're applying to whatever has a wage attached to it. After 50 applications, hearing nothing back, I'm sure after 25 applications, hearing nothing back, at that point, you're just applying for whatever is going to pay the bills.
And not just that, I've been applying to anything. It took me, I had to go back and count. It was like 22 applications to hourly part-time retail job before I got through on anything. When people are saying they're applying to hundreds of jobs, they're talking about jobs in general. People who are not in it keep coming at us with like, well, just go apply at a restaurant. We'll just go substitute teach. We'll just go drive Uber Eats. We'll just go get a retail job. We'll just go drive a forklift. We'll just go apply to an Amazon warehouse. Like those jobs, all jobs, there's not a lot of them. And just because you can go to a job board and see a bunch of things listed, those aren't real jobs. Like so much of what is out there online right now is fucking fake.
Have you thought of just connecting with Steve Jobs on the Facebook and then shooting him an email with all of your strengths and your weaknesses too?
He's been dead for 20 years, Mom.
Okay, but have you tried just going in and giving them your cover letter and your resume just like face to face? That's how they did it back in my day.
Mom, I don't think you can get an internship in investment banking like that. See, me and your father, we did it the old-fashioned way. You start at the bottom, the entry-level position, you just work your way up. It's that easy.
No,
simple.
I can't even get the entry-level job, Mom.
You just work your way up the ladder.
It's time to start talking about you moving out. You've been living under our roof and reaping our benefits for far too long.
Mom, the apartments are just way too expensive. I cannot afford it.
Son, if you can't afford an apartment from your $7 an hour wage, you need to focus less on the system and more on your own spending habits.
Honey, I hate to say I told you so, but if you just would have gotten a 2.8 GPA like me and your father and gone to Harvard, you would have been perfect. But no, you had to go to the party school.
Just fax your resume to all of the local companies in the area, whatever they are, and you can just take your pick from there from who gets back to you.
Mom, who is faxing stuff nowadays?
Like a lot of these older people just don't understand how the landscape has changed. A lot of the advice that you'll hear is, why don't you go in there with your resume and give them a firm handshake and I'm sure you'll get a job. That's not how things work. You'd be lucky to not be escorted out of the door by security. You can't talk to the top dog like you used to be able to. You can't just leave your resume with the receptionist and hope that the CEO receives it. They're going to take that, ball it up, throw it in the garbage. It's frustrating when you know what the landscape is and you know how hard and how tough it is, and then you get these pieces of advice from people that are either retired or are on their way to retirement, have been working at the same company for decades. It makes you feel unvalidated. It makes you feel unheard. It makes you feel like you're the problem. And in reality, you're not the problem. The system's the problem.
I have been unemployed for a year and 9 months now. I was laid off, and I'm going to be honest. I'm at the point where I don't want to go back. I think the longer you're away, the more bullshit you see. I've applied to thousands of jobs. I've had 3 interviews, 2 in person, 1 phone interview. The one in person was for a leadership position, and they said, oh, we're hiring someone from the inside. And then the other one was for an entry level for the same company, and they said, you have too much experience. We just don't think you'd be happy here.
Too much experience typically means you're too expensive. That's basically what they're trying to say. They just don't want to say that, or they can't say that. Nobody has too much experience for anything. It's not like you forget how to do something the more experience that you have. It's such corporate jargon for, we don't trust that you're going to stay in this position for very long because you're probably above this position.
You know, we just think you probably would leave quickly and whatever. These are the things that unemployed people are going through. And then, of course, you have people in the comments when you're talking about it, go down to your local grocery store, do this. I've done it all. Trader Joe's, we're not hiring. Costco, we're not hiring.
Trader Joe's is actually impossible to get hired at. Everybody wants to work at Trader Joe's. Like, if you don't know somebody there, you're not getting a job there. And that's simply how most jobs work. If you don't know somebody to get your foot in the door, you're probably not getting that job.
And what gets me the most is the rejection emails. You check your email and it's thanks for applying to such and such, unfortunately. And you get hundreds of them. How much more rejection can someone take?
You get hundreds of them if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, you hear nothing back.
And those who aren't unemployed, they don't get it, because I've had people say, oh, in California, there's tons of people hiring. Where? They're not hiring me? It's just one big D-swinging contest. I'm so tired of the corporate bullshit, the corporate lingo, someone trying to push you down to bring themselves up to get a position ahead of you. It's literally like high school. It's so much drama. It's like battle of the ego.
She's 51. She probably has 2 to 3 decades maybe of work experience. If she's having difficulty finding a job, what does that mean for somebody fresh out of college? What does that mean for somebody still in high school? It's important for high schoolers to have jobs. Having a job in high school is essential for some kids. Some kids' parents can't afford that. I was the type of person that had to have a job at 16 because I bought all my school supplies, my clothes, literally everything that was essential for me in school. I started purchasing from age 16 onward until I graduated. What happens to those kids?
You can't find a good job right now, or if you're unemployed, it is literally not your fault. 2025 was one of the worst years for layoffs ever since COVID. That's right. People are losing their jobs, and there's not even a pandemic to point the finger at. 41% of recent college graduates are all suffering underemployment. 40% of all employers that put job listings online admit that they put those listing ups with no intention of hiring. 40%, 2/5 of the applications you see online are fake. Is the government going to do anything to help people losing their jobs or stimulate the economy? Nah. 20 billion to Israel, 100 billion to AI. Let's invade Venezuela. Let's bomb Mexico. Let's buy Greenland. This is what people voted for, right? For Donald Trump to molest the money?
I mean, we send all this money overseas to aid all these other people. What about the American people? What about the people that are struggling here right now? What are we doing for them? Best I can do is have AI replace you. Best I can do.
The economy is so bad, you may as well just chase your dreams. I graduated from a top university with a tech degree, and I still can't find a job in my field, and neither can most of the other people I know. So why not invest more of your time doing something you're passionate about? Making a living off of what you love doing and getting a regular job feels the same level as impossible, so just do something you're passionate about. And even if you can't end up making a living off of it, so what? You're still having fun. Nothing even matters anymore. So many of us are working food service and retail with bachelor's degrees, and we're on a floating rock, so what does it even matter? And we're only on this earth for so long. Do you really want to spend all your time praying to the corporate god, oh, please give me a job, sir? Or do you want to have fun? Oh, screw that. Find your own meaning in life. Go work your food service and retail job so you don't starve to death, and then do something you actually care about with the rest of your time. That way, when you actually do get a job in your field, you don't wake up 60 years old with your back hurting, regretting that you didn't give a fair shot to the things that you actually do care about in life.
A lot of people feel like what they truly want to do is unattainable or unrealistic, but it's looking just as equally as unrealistic or unattainable in trying to find a job in your field if you graduated with a degree, or finding a job in general. So why not just chase your dreams? That's what I'm doing here. I love talking. I love talking to people about interesting subjects, but this is just something that I wanted to do that I thought in the past was unattainable. And with everything being so expensive, everything kind of feeling like a ripoff, why not just chase that crazy thing that you wanted to do? I mean, it's got to be better than this, right? Taking a look at the comments. Wait, y'all have dreams and passion? This person says, started video editing full time after I got fired from my job this year. Still haven't needed a regular job, and I'm enjoying my 20s. Still stressed a lot, but good Lord, I will never go back to service work. And with the rise of AI, it's more beneficial to do something that has a soul in it, because that's the one thing AI can't do. And that's about everything I have for you guys today. Drop a comment down below to let me know if you're experiencing a tough time in the job market. Let me know what you've done to get a job if you found a job recently, or how you're navigating this tough landscape. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, comment, subscribe, as I'll be posting a lot more of this content in the near future. And again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.